today's lesson. My name is Loveless Marina Silembo, and today's lesson will be on the nervous system. The nervous system. Okay. By the end of this lesson, everyone in here is going to know the components that makes up the nervous system. Apart from that, everyone is going to know the parts of the brain as well as the functions of the brain. Okay, so we can start. What do you think is the nervous system? What do you think is the nervous system? You have an answer, you raise your hand. Okay? Okay, just to help you, the nervous system is simply a system that makes our bodies to respond to stimuli. The nervous system is simply a system that makes our bodies to respond to stimuli, but it uses electrical impulses. Have you ever heard of electrical impulses? No. You've never heard of electrical impulses? Yes. Okay, so there are some electrical impulses in our bodies, and those electrical impulses are conducted by certain parts of the nervous system. As we go on, you are going to know. Are you following me? Yes. Okay, so what I was saying earlier is that the nervous system is simply a system that is that responds to stimuli by the use of electrical impulses. Okay, now the nervous system is made up of the following parts. Okay, so the nervous system is made up of the following parts. Parts of the nervous system. Okay, so before I give you the linkage, who can give me any part they know that makes up the nervous system? Yes, John? Same nervous system. Okay. The nervous system is divided into what is known as the central nervous system. Apart from that, Milligan?
The brain. The nervous system is made out of the brain.
Okay, thank you for trying. Next, who else? Very, yeah. Okay, so the nervous system is divided into how many parts? Two parts. There is what is known as the central nervous system, and there is what is known as the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so there is what is known as the central nervous system, and there is what is known as the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. Okay, so as we go on in the next lesson, we are going to look further, or we'll go into details on the peripheral nervous system. But our main focus today is on the central nervous system. We want to know the parts that makes up the central nervous system. So our main focus will be on the central nervous system, which is abbreviated as what? CNS. Are you following me? Yes. Okay. So our main focus today will be on the central nervous system. Now, who can give me the parts of the central nervous system? Who can give me the parts of the central nervous system? Yes, Panado.
Brain.
The brain. What else? Prince? Spinal cord. Okay, so the central nervous system is made up of the brain. It is made up of the brain and the spinal cord. It is made up of the brain and the spinal cord. Okay? Now, I've put some charts this side. Everyone to look at those charts. Boys and girls, we all know nervous system. Okay, now the central nervous system is comprised, just like I said earlier, is comprised of the brain and the spinal cord. What you are seeing down there is the structure of the spinal cord. Okay, so as we go on, I'm going to talk about, like in the next lessons, not today, we are going to discuss each and every part of the nervous system, but our main focus today will be on the brain. Are you following me? Yes. As I teach, like in the next lessons, we'll talk about each and every part of the nervous system, but my main focus today will be on the brain. Okay, so the brain is divided into 3 regions. Okay, so we have what is known as the forebrain. We have what is known as the forebrain. Then we have what is known as the midbrain. Then we have what is known as the hindbrain. We have what is known as the hindbrain. So it's brain, right? It's brain everywhere, right? And you've seen the chart of the brain. Now I'll ask you one question. Where do you think is your brain located in the body? Where do you think is the brain located in the body? Yes, Peter? The head? Okay, so thank you very much. I'm going to show you where the brain is located. He's saying the brain. Okay, you are near somewhere. Okay, so the brain is located in this structure that you are seeing here. Okay, so this structure is what is known as the cranium. Are you following me? But in simpler terms, it's what is known as the skull. I think that's the word that most of you know. Okay, so the brain is found in a skeleton known as the what? The skull. And this part that you are seeing is what is known as the skull. That's where you find the brain. You can never find it anywhere in your body, but inside the skull. Are you following me? Yes. All right. We move on. Now, our main focus today is on the forebrain and the midbrain. So we'll start with the forebrain. We'll start with the forebrain. Now, the forebrain is made up of parts known as the cerebrum. It is made up of these parts. The cerebrum. It is also made up of what is known as the hypothalamus. It is made up of what is known as the hypothalamus. Then it is also made up of what is known as the master gland. It is made up of what is known as the master gland. And then we'll start with the cerebrum. We'll start with the cerebrum. We talk about the functions of the cerebrum. Okay? I'll see you use that chart. Have you seen the structure of the cerebrum on the chart? Yes. Okay, so that is the structure of the cerebrum. So you know, the cerebrum is one of it is the largest part of the brain. And one thing that you should know is that the cerebrum is divided into 2 halves. The cerebrum is divided into 2 halves, known as the cerebral hemisphere. Okay, so I have come with the model. I want to show you the 2 parts I'm talking about. Alright? I've come with the model and I want to show you the 2 halves I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the structure of the cerebrum. Have you seen it? Yes. Okay, so what I was saying earlier is that the cerebrum is divided into how many halves? 2. You've seen? 2 halves. Okay, and it is the largest part of the brain. Now let's talk about the functions of the cerebrum. Let's talk about the functions of the cerebrum. functions of the cerebrum. Okay, number one, the function of the cerebrum is that it controls the involuntary movements of the human beings. Are you following me? One of the functions of the cerebrum is to control the voluntary movements, such as walking. Are you following me? Such as walking, such as dancing. Are you following me? Okay, so chewing. Do we want to? Yes. That is the movement, right? Yes. Okay, so let me write down something. So what I'm saying is that the cerebrum controls. You might forget. It controls the voluntary. It controls the voluntary movements. Movements such as walking and chewing. Okay, so there are many examples that you can give out there, but for now we'll stick to the two, right? Such as walking, such as chewing. Okay, so there is a big term here, voluntary. Do you know what the word voluntary means? Okay, so I'll tell you. Voluntary movements are simply movements that you can control. Are you following me? These are simply movements that you can control. Can you control walking? Yes. You can. Right? When you are walking, when I tell you to stop, you can stop, right? Yes. When I tell you, can you stop chewing that bubble gum? You can immediately stop, isn't it? Okay, so the part of the brain which controls that is the cerebrum of mental functioning such as memory, judgment, intelligence, imagination. Are you following me? Yes. The cerebrum is simply the part of the brain that controls things like imaginations, memories, judgments, so on and so forth. Okay, so sight of memory, judgment, and imaginations. There's another interesting function. Okay, so the cerebrum controls things like imaginations, memory, intelligence, judgment, just to mention a few. But there's another interesting thing that the cerebrum there's another role that the cerebrum plays, and this role is very, very interesting. And this role is the following. Okay, so the cerebrum interprets emotions such as love. Okay, it interprets emotions such as love, joy, and anger. Wow. So this thing is not big, it's not large for nothing. If you remember very well, I said it is the largest part of the brain. And it has many roles to play. Okay? Including the ones that I've written on the board. The most interesting one is this one. Okay, so this is the part of the brain that controls love. How do you know that John loves you? How do you know that Mary loves you? How do you know that you are angry at that particular moment? How do you know that you are excited at that particular moment? It's all because of the cerebrum. It is the part of the brain that detects that. Are we together? Yes. Okay. Now, the last thing. This thing is not large for nothing, right? Yes. The last thing, the most important thing. Do you have 5 senses? Yes. Do you have 5 senses? Yes. Okay, how many senses? Can you give me examples of senses that you have? Yes, Prince?
Sense of feeling.
The sense of feeling. When someone pinches you, you feel that pain, right?
Yes.
What else? Emmanuel?
Sense of touch.
Sense of touch, same as feeling, right? What else? Yes, Elena?
Sense of taste.
Sense of taste. Sense of sight. Boys and girls, have you seen the structure of the hypothalamus?
Yes.
Okay, you should master the location. These things are very much examinable, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, right now we want to talk, now that you've seen the structure of the hypothalamus, let's talk about the roles that it plays. Okay, now the hypothalamus is simply a part of the brain that has got receptors, known as the osmoreceptors. Okay, so the hypothalamus has receptors. It has receptors called the osmoreceptors. Okay, it has receptors known as the osmoreceptors, and these receptors regulate water. Are you following me?
Yes.
Osmo. When you see this word, that's the thing that should come to your head is water. Okay, so the hypothalamus has got receptors that control the water levels in the body, or that detect the water levels in the body. Okay, so this one regulates the water levels in the body. It regulates water in the body. Okay, so the hypothalamus also has a receptor known as the thermo. It has a receptor known as the thermoreceptor. Okay, it has another receptor known as the thermoreceptor. What do you think is the function of the thermoreceptor? Function of the thermoreceptor, Graceman?
I think it regulates heat.
Heat, thermo. Regulates what? Heat. We can say it regulates what? Temperature. Okay, so this one regulates temperature. Okay, it regulates temperature. Alright, we move on. Let's talk about the master gland. Let's talk about the master gland. Have you seen the location of the master gland on the chart? Everyone, can you pay attention? Take a look at the master gland on the chart. Have you seen the part of the master gland on the chart? Have you seen it? Okay, it's there. Me, I can see it. Okay, so the master gland is also known as the pituitary gland. Try to pronounce that.
Pituitary.
Okay, so the master gland is also known as the pituitary gland. I think this one is a little bit easier for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the little thing that you are seeing there, something that looks like a bean seed, that small part of the brain is what is known as the master gland. But why the master? You know, when you look at it, it looks very small, but it has a big name.
Yes.
The master gland. What's so special about that part? Okay, so the master gland is simply the part of the brain that secretes hormones. Hormones that activates other glands that are found in your body. I know you are confused, like what are hormones? Don't worry. In the next topic, we'll look at endocrine system, and in that topic, we'll talk about hormones. So don't worry. But for now, just know that the master gland secretes hormones that activate other glands. This is the more reason why it is even known as the master gland, because it secretes hormones that activate the other glands. Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, so this one secretes what to say cerebellum. That's the way to go. All right. Now who can give us the function of the cerebellum? Prince, you can go on.
I think it is important in the maintenance of the body balance.
Very good. So the cerebellum is very much important because this is the part of the brain which maintains our what? Our balance. Was I falling down whilst explaining? No. My body was balanced very well, isn't it? Was anyone that side falling down, getting back, falling down? Everyone is seated comfortably because the cerebellum is offering that balance. Are you following me? Okay, so the cerebellum, this one maintains body balance. This one maintains our body balance. Alright. In the hindbrain, there is also another part which makes up the hindbrain. In that part, everyone to look at the chart. Everyone to look at the chart. Okay, so another structure which makes up part of the hindbrain is what is known as, someone to read that.
Medulla.
Okay, so something that makes part of the hindbrain is the medulla oblongata. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, all that part. Have you seen this part? That is the medulla oblongata. And one function of the medulla oblongata is to connect the spinal cord. Have you seen the spinal cord?
Yes.
Medulla oblongata connects the spinal cord and the rest of the brain. It forms a link between the spinal cord and the brain. But the most important function of the medulla oblongata is to control involuntary movements such as breathing, heart rate, coughing, sneezing. Are you following me? Yes. Okay, so the medulla oblongata, this one it controls involuntary movements. This one it controls the involuntary movements. Okay, it controls the involuntary movements. Okay, earlier we were talking about the cerebrum, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the first function that we talked about was that the cerebrum controls voluntary movements. What are voluntary movements? What are voluntary movements?
I think that can be controlled.
Movements that can be controlled. But this one, on the other hand, it controls what? Involuntary movements. Now, what do you think are involuntary movements? Yes, you remember? Speak up. Okay, so what she's saying is that involuntary movements, these are simply movements that cannot be controlled. And I'll give some examples. The things that are controlled by the medulla oblongata are things like breathing. When you're breathing, you're making movements, right?
Yes.
When you cough, you make some movements. The involuntary ones. But can you control them?
No.
Can you control your breathing?
No.
Stopping your breathing, you can stop it, but can you control it?
No.
Can you control your sneezing?
No.
You can't. Okay, so the only thing that controls that is the medulla oblongata. Okay, so today's lesson was based on the nervous system. The nervous system which is made up of the brain, the spinal cord, and the nerve cell. Alright? But our main focus was on the parts of the brain, such as the cerebrum, which controls things like love, joy, controls things like your sight, your hearing, isn't it?
Yes.
We also talked about things like the hypothalamus, which controls the water levels. It also regulates the temperature, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Loveless Selembo, and on behalf of the production crew, it's bye for now. Till we meet next time.